What's up, y'all? Welcome to He As the Pod, man. Brought to you by your boy T-Rez. Excited to bring you guys this sports content pod. My friends and my close family members, they have been pressuring me to finally start to produce my own content. I watch a lot of sports, watch a lot of people talk, a lot of bullshit talk, and so a lot of opinionated content is going to be coming at you from this pod, and I'm excited to give you guys the information I'm going to be giving it to you. If you want to rock with me, go ahead and rock with me. Subscribe. I hope this fan base starts to build. As it does start to build, I'm going to start adding different people into the pod. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk shit. And hopefully it could be a source of entertainment for you as the pod continues to get better. So like, subscribe, add me on Facebook. I'm going to have a YouTube channel dropping soon. And we can also chit-chat a little bit in the comment section. With that, let's go ahead and take a toast, man. The first topic on He As the Pod. Let's go ahead and salute that. All right. First topic of the day, first topic of the pod. Let's go ahead and talk about He As number one, man, Justin Fields. I'm a Chicago guy, even though I'm a Buckeye fan, Ohio State fan, a Green Bay Packer fan. We got to talk about Justin Fields. His name is buzzing around the city right now. And so I'm from Chicago. I'm living in Chicago. Got to talk about Justin number one. Man, Justin ass, bro. They got rid of him. Not shocked about it. It was time to move on. I was shocked they didn't get rid of him last year. With the success CJ Stroud has had, man, CJ just dominated the league last year. Took a team from 3 wins to the playoffs and didn't win a game. He had receivers on that team that hadn't produced anywhere in the league yet, and he just made those guys 1,000-yard guys. Elevated Devin Singletary play, allowed defense to make some mistakes because they knew that they had CJ Stroud on the back end. So the Bears passed up on that to add some weapons for Justin Fields, and he just was ass, man. Yes, DJ Moore had a good year, but who else had a good year? He locked in on DJ, and they couldn't do much. The Bears' offense, it's just hard for them to run anything because Justin Fields can't go through progressions. If you remember early in the year, they tried to run, Gadsby had tried to run his actual offense, and Moore wasn't getting the ball. And so there was a lot of backlash in the media about this and that, and we need to get more involved. The problem is when you tell a quarterback like Justin Fields, a quarterback that's asked to get this guy the ball, the only person he can look at and get the ball is him. So a lot of Justin's best games this year is DJ Moore having 95% of his yardage, 95% of his completions. And so with that, unfortunately, they have to move on from, I know a lot of y'all are saying, well, they just got him the weapons. He needs to be successful. Getting Justin Fields more receivers does nothing for him. He's a one-read guy. He can't go through progressions either way. Either Keenan Allen or DJ Moore would have been pissed at the end of this football season because their numbers would have been way down. Whoever was the primary was the guy who was getting the ball, which likely is DJ. And after that, you fucked. I want to relate this to, remember Allen Robinson, the year the Bears went to the playoffs, he was their number one guy. I think he was 1,000-yard receiver. And when Justin came in, they were starting to maneuver that to Mooney. Now Mooney ate, but Allen stopped seeing anything. I mean, his production was trash. They ended up letting him go. And then Mooney as the one, right? DJ Moore came in, they started maneuvering towards DJ, and then Mooney didn't get any looks. So the year before that, they was trying to get Cole Kmet involved, and Mooney's looks went down that weird as well. So Justin just has a hard time reading defenses. He makes his offensive line look worse than it actually is because he's patting the ball back there a little too long, and then he moves into pressure. So what I mean is sometimes, in most cases, if you ain't the top 1 and 3 offensive lines, you ain't that good, right? You put your quarterback in some danger. But quarterbacks, the good one, has that slight movement in the pocket, whether it's up, a slight movement up, slight movement to the left or the right. They do this and allow the pressure to submerge a little bit, right? They can cover up the holes in the offensive line. I think about Patrick Mahomes when he went to the Super Bowl that one year with the worst offensive line in the league, or even like last year when he went to the Super Bowl with the worst receiving core in the league. Just the things he was able to make happen. Those are things you can't count on Justin to do. And that's the guy that was an 11 overall pick. So they gave him plenty of chances. He just didn't show up. Even his scrambling ability is not as good as many people think it is. Once he get out the pocket, I mean, the dude's electric. That's obvious. He got top-notch speed. He's a big guy. Ain't no way in hell you're going to tackle him. Just being honest. But getting out of the pocket, he can't. That's why he sacked so much. A guy with that athleticism should not be, and that big, should not be getting sacked as much as he should be, even with a line that bad, if you say he's bad. And it was really, that line was top 15 in the league this year, so it ain't that bad, right? He got sacked a ton because he scrambles back. So when he sees pressure, he retreats backwards right away. He doesn't have that slight movement that we see from Patrick Mahomes where he'll step up, ease up in the pocket, right? Move away from the pressure slightly a little bit to allow the blocker to re-engage. Or just simply get that ball out of your hands quickly when you see something is open. He can't make NFL open throws. And so he makes everything around him looks worse than it is. Even that defense that really was top 5 in clamp shit, sometimes they look bad because you've allowed somebody to score 2 touchdowns in a row. Everybody gonna blame it on defense. Well, the defense couldn't stop nobody, right? And it just that's just bad. And when you that bad, you got to move on from it. You can't allow if you pull Ryan Poles, who's been doing a hell of a job. I think Ryan Poles is the best thing to happen to Chicago since I've been born. Honestly, nothing else has came through that's been this good. Like the moves that he's making, the way he's reprogramming that organization. I think he's doing a hell of a job. So Poles tried to give him the help with Claypool. Claypool didn't work out. Traded the 2nd round pick for him. The reason why Claypool didn't work out because Mooney was the number 1, and Justin can't come off of Mooney to Claypool. That sounds very like baseline, but it is what it is. They couldn't get Claypool the ball consistently because Justin couldn't do it consistently. It's just what it comes down to. And Claypool started to bitch and shit because he wanted the ball more, and he knew it. Right? This guy can't give me the ball. Honestly, Justin pretty much ended his career because that him bitching up, and then now he goes to a new team. They don't even want to play him because now he has that sting on him, right? So, Poles got him weapons. When he got DJ last year, it didn't work out. That defense he stacked up pretty well. He drafted well. Brisker, Stevenson on the outside, just paid Jalen Johnson. He let Eddie Jackson walk, although Eddie played really well last year. He signed those 2 linebackers. Only where he hasn't done well is the defensive line, but they were great against the run, right? So that defense was top 5, and their offensive weapons wasn't as bad as many think they were. Because Mooney is a former 1,000-yard receiver in this league, and we know what DJ Moore can do. And Cole Kmet should be a very, very good tight end in this league, and unfortunately, his quarterback can't get him there. I would argue that their roster is the best in the division. Right? I think they're better than the Packers roster, and the Packers made a Super Bowl. I wish. I'm a Packers fan. The Packers made the playoffs, right? 2nd round of the playoffs almost was a series away from going to the NFC Championship game. I think their roster is on par with the Lions. I would go with the Lions is better because what they have at the edge rushing position. But the Bears secondary is better. The Bears linebacker crew is better. The Bears interior linemen are better. It's just they don't have the edge rushers. So I think the main thing that makes the Bears fall behind those 2 teams in their division is Justin Fields. If you add a Jordan Love or Jared Goff to the Bears roster, I think that is a 10-win or more playoff team, and they might be able to compete. Well, I know they will be able to compete with the San Francisco 49ers for the conference because the Packers almost did it, and we don't nearly have the defense that the Bears have, and we struggle with our receivers. Our receivers, Jordan Love basically made those guys. They were production guys in the NFL before Jordan came in. I mean, those are the same guys Aaron Rodgers basically hated that he played with, right? And Jordan came in and made those guys look really good. But that's what a good quarterback does. It makes the roster a lot better than it already is, even if it's a bad roster. You think about Aaron Rodgers' years in Green Bay. The roster was terrible, right? Defensively. Offensively, he cried every time because they wouldn't go get him a weapon on the outside, right? Terrible roster, but a good quarterback can make things happen. Patrick Mahomes, the offensive line thing we talked about from 3 or 4 years ago when they went to the bowl and lost. Okay, the offensive line bad, but I'm a very good quarterback. I'll be able to make them better. Last year, the receivers and how bad they were, even Kelsey was bad last year. I'm a great quarterback. I'll make you better. So those are things that Justin can't do. You can't count on Justin to get that big 3rd down conversion. I literally never seen him do it. You can't count on Justin to have a game-winning drive. We literally never have seen him do it. We've never seen Justin go down the field with the game on the line and score a touchdown. We just have, right? And that's just, unfortunately, the limitations he's have. I think the most evident thing to me that made me understand that Justin was not a good quarterback is when every time I talk to a Chicago Bears fan, they marvel at his legs and they compare him to what Lamar Jackson is, that saying that Justin can be. And that right there tells me that Justin failed himself because Justin was never a leg guy. When he was coming to the league, he wasn't compared to Lamar Jackson. His skill set was closer to that of Patrick Mahomes because he has the legs, but he never uses them, right? Me being an Ohio State fan, I can tell you right now, Justin probably scrambled 30 times that whole season, right? Or maybe less than 50 in 2 seasons. He never had to move out the pocket because his arm is the reason why people loved him and why they thought he could be a very good quarterback in the league. And so when we pivoted off that his arm is no good and he has to get there and his legs is the best asset, then I knew that he's really having a hard time throwing in his lead and he's never going to get there because the good ones are there at some degree. You can see it, right? Every NFL quarterback can make a throw that'll wow you. They all can. They're NFL quarterbacks, right? And so when I call them ass, I'm calling them ass at the level that they are. He's a starting quarterback, a starting first-round quarterback in the NFL. And he failed his ass. As a backup, he will be tremendous backup. You can count on Justin for 1 or 2 games a year. For 17, I don't know. And you're going to blame his offensive line. I already shot that down. I already tell you that the good quarterbacks, the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, the Brett Favre's, all the good ones, right? They'll compensate for the things that they don't have. All right, Tom Brady has never had a great skill guys around him outside of Randy Moss. He basically made guys great. Edelman's, right, comes in. He's a high school college quarterback coming in. The Wes Welkers played in Miami. None of you guys know who he was, right? He comes in. Tom makes him a 15K receiver, 15,000 yard receiver. Like, come on, right? So good quarterbacks are able to do these things. Aaron Rodgers with all the receivers that he made over time, right? The Jordy Nelsons, honestly, the Devontae Adams and all these things, right? He was able to get those guys to the next step, right? Devontae Adams wasn't this can't miss prospect coming out of Houston, right? He was a 2nd round pick. His first 3 years, he didn't even crack 700 yards, right? He dropped a lot of balls and the work, right? When you're around a good quarterback, you're able to elevate your game because of them. And Justin is not going to elevate nobody. And that is what it is. And I think Cole seen it, and I think the NFL seen it, which is why he was only traded for a 6th round pick. Any type of quarterback, as good as most Bears fans think they are, will never get traded for a 6th round pick. So that's my take. Justin, dog, US. Rocking with me through segment number 1. If you're still here, I want to tell you there's something else that's ass. It's been bothering me lately. I'm going to take a sip on this dude because this dude really pissed me off. I don't mind. He don't piss me off that bad where I had to take a sip, but I did need a sip of that yak. All right, Shohei Ohtani. No, he is not ass. We know Shohei is probably a top 5 pitcher and probably a top 3 better. So we're not saying that he's ass in that aspect. What he is ass for is that story he came up and he know he be gambling. Shohei then got by FanDuel and DraftKings and all that other shit. Yeah, Shohei, you spending that money on $3 million in debt. And as soon as he signed that $700 million contract with the Dodgers, he could pay off his debt. The reason why I call the story ass because 2 stories came out about his interpreter. One, first the interpreter told Shohei, hey, I'm in debt. This is how much I'm in debt. He said Shohei was pissed off at him, but say, all right, I'll pay for it, and paid off his debt. Then the story came out that Shohei, this is the story right now that they're trying to stick. Shohei ain't know nothing about this old shit that his interpreter is into, and he stole his money. 2 things, Shohei. Your interpreter, I'm gonna max him out, and he probably don't make this. Your interpreter probably made $500 million a year. Shit ton of money. That's probably not what he made, but I'm just gonna max it out as far as the biggest number I could think of that someone was willing to play interpreter. $500,000. You think any bookie in his right mind is gonna loan a man $3 million and you only make $500,000 a year? No. Okay. Then my second thing is, Shohei, you gotta be better, man. If your bookie did agree to steal your money or did steal your money and you didn't agree to pay off his debt, man, you gotta come up with a better cover for this story before it hit the fan. Because 2 different stories can't come out, it's automatically gonna come back to you. The money came from your account. The money is too large of a sum for somebody that makes as less money as your interpreter does, right? And your stories are too conflicted. So, Shohei, I'm gonna tell you one thing. The FBI is on the case. The FBI is what cracked the MLB over the head with the steroids, and Barry Bonds' legacy was tarnished. Guess what, Shohei? They're about to get your ass, boy. They're about to get you. And for you coming out with that bullshit story, knowing damn well the public was gonna crucify your ass, coming up with some shit that bad, you ass. All right, y'all, we're bouncing into our last topic of the day, man. First of all, I had a blast recording my first episode, man. This is something I'm hoping to do for years, man. I'm hoping to get so big that you'll see me on TV like y'all. or y'all follow me religiously like y'all do Unc and my boy Ocho, because that's a hell of a pod as well. So shout out to Unc, shout out to Ocho. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the yeah. What Unc say? Give me a little bit of the yeah. Come on, nephew. All right, so my last topic, man, that I want to touch up on or talk about, and like I said, we can squabble about this in the comment section, man. It's the NCAA tournament, as you know. We have the Sweet 16 coming up this weekend. Coming up tomorrow, we in the Sweet 16, so it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting to see. We already seen around the 64, a lot of upsets. Yale take down Auburn. Kentucky got their ass smoked by a white guy that don't even start. Brother hit 10 trays. Took 20 of them. Brother only played 1 year of college basketball and fucking up 5 stars. I fuck with that, man. A lot of big upsets. Grand Canyon. Man, there was so many upsets. Utah State was an upset to me, beating TCU. That's Power 5 versus non-Power 5. It was cool to see. I'm glad the 1s and 2s hold it down. I hate when a 16 or 15 seed win, respectfully, because then it just takes out the best team win the championship, right? Because the people can have bad days, especially in basketball, man. I'm a shooter. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lights out shooter, but some days I'm clanking shit. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't with 15 or 16 seed wins. But good to see the 1s and 2s went into the second round. I'm not sure. Yeah, all the 1s are still in, and think all the 2s are still in. Right? We seen the Quints, or how you Duquesne. I always fuck that up. Duquesne with a big win in the first round, and Illinois straight up pummeled their ass. I'm gonna say this hot take, and then I'm gonna move on to what I was talking about. That dude Terrence Shannon is the epitome of a Chicago hooper, dog. Like, I ain't saying he D Rose, because he ain't got that wiggle in the air and that contortion with his body when he get up there. But as far as going to the Baja, like you from the south side of Chicago, man, I ain't seen no motherfucking in college basketball do that, man. I mean, this dude is just going to the basket like with reckless abandon. Like, he's 6'6", he really going up there like, who won it? You know what I'm saying? He had 40 in that championship game in the Big Ten tournament, just put 30 on Duquesne. I mean, this dude, and he a lefty, and everything is so smooth and strong. Man, he's just the epitome of a Chicago high school basketball player. And I really think Illinois, if he can play like that, man, Illinois got enough around him. They can go to the Final Four, man. I can't see them beating like teams like UConn, but everybody, UConn, they could beat Purdue. I'm a Big Ten fan, so I seen them play Purdue twice. They was in there both games. UConn is just on a different level. All right. But that's my take for the NCAA tournament. I will say, if you got a chance, I gamble a little bit. So go ahead and take Utah, smash them right now for a futures bet to win the tournament. I think they'll be at probably about plus 150 right now. So I say go ahead and take them. Man, they got a lot. All right. But I wanted to give the good first before I get the bad. The NCAA tournament is obviously the good of the NCAA basketball, right? But it's something else that has to be talked about that pisses me off. Transfers. Y'all ass, man. Hunter Dickerson went from a P5 Big Ten school to Kansas. Thank God Kansas got their ass smoked, right? Because why do you need to transfer? I think people who transfer from one P5 to another P5, especially if you're playing and you're the star, and you transfer to another P5, I think you have a lack of competitiveness. I think you're ass. And I think you just trash, bro. I think it's trash. I really think it's hard. It's just hard for me to cheer for you when you do that. Your coach didn't leave Michigan. The NIL money didn't leave, right? Michigan ain't so bad where ain't no talent around you. This ain't no lower level P5. We ain't talking to Paul. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking Georgetown. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you go to Georgetown and think, oh, I'm going to bring them back. And you've been 4 years there and you got a couple year left. You say, all right, I'll go somewhere else. I'm cool with that. But going from Michigan, when none of that is going on, when it's stable, to Kansas, it's ass to me. And that's that transfer culture that I just don't fuck with, because it's just weak to me. It's no competitive nature. It's hard to cheer. I'm an Ohio State fan. You see my cap. Our best basketball player, Jamison Battle, was a Minnesota Golden Gopher. He was one of their best players. Then he come over to us. Like, bro, it's hard.